Oh.
Oh.
What's going on, everybody? It's Hunter and Jake here. We're back. BoogiePod episode 57. You guys just saw my face. Okay, ignore that. That was a misclick. It'll be okay, though. We're back. Just knocked my mic over. We survived ghost attacks. Got like 2 clips uploaded this week. Hey, we're on a roll. I'm telling you. We're on an absolute roll here on Boogie Sports Channel. But Jake, as always, how was your week?
It's okay. Pretty mid.
Pretty mid? Why mid?
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, it'd be alright. Didn't matter.
It does matter.
So first of all, before we get started, I'm going to show... First of all, if you're wondering why the background's not blurred, is because I got attacked by a ghost last week, and you couldn't see it really in the frame. So now, we are on Ghost Alert. So if you see something in the background, make sure you let everyone know. Hey, Josh. See you typing. First time, welcome to the
Boogie
Pod.
Josh is watching.
Yeah, welcome to the BoogiePod. And then second thing before we get going is I got a new pen. I got a pack of them. And look at this right here. Watch this. Pretty fancy stuff. And
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it writes really fancy like. So, new pen. I mean, it's just been a great day today. And you know, we got plenty to talk about. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the great game that was this Saturday, Monday, yesterday, the national championship, baby. Georgia 65, TCU 7. What a great game, Jake. Give me your thoughts and opinions about this game right here.
Yeah, it's funny because it's gonna be about a third-party team. Michigan should be embarrassed. I know it's like I always go like the Michigan route sometimes. Like last week I talked about Jim Harbaugh out of the blue for no reason, but yeah, Michigan to lose this TCU team, and TCU is good. I'm not gonna say like they didn't deserve to be there. They deserved it, but it's like one of the most Cinderella, improbable runs you'll ever see.
Yeah,
because you think back, TCU was almost losing every big game they played.
Oh
except Texas. I think they beat Texas pretty handily. But
it wasn't because of the offense. So if you remember, it was
defense.
Yeah,
it was weird. That's when everyone's like, "Oh, TCU's defense is good." What did he say? You're smiling.
he said pin and then like it just don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Crap.
TCU,
then like they keep winning. Yeah, they just keep winning all these close games, and then they just sleepwalk their way through Michigan. I guess they played an all right game, made the turnover, still win because JJ McCarthy threw like 2 pick sixes or whatever. But
yeah, he sold.
Yeah, I don't know. Georgia is going to be. They're like the new guys now.
Yeah, they are.
They're the guys. They're going to be the guys for probably the most of this decade, I'd say. Something would have to go really wrong, I think, for them not to win a couple more.
Yeah.
But
my thoughts about this game are, one, I want to get something out of the way. Okay? I want to get something out of the way. I get, when you look at the actual rule in the playoffs, it says their goal is to get the 4 best teams. Forget that's even written down, because that's not the goal. They can't do that. It's not a power ranking. Okay? If they put the 4 best teams in, then why do we play? There ain't no reason to play the regular season. Just drop the preseason rankings, get the 4, throw them in there. 4 most talented, whatever. But we gotta play the regular season because the people that's in there are the most deserving. Most deserving. That's why they're in there. Okay? Yeah, TCU, they obviously don't have more talent than Alabama. And if Alabama and TCU played 10 times a year, 10 times this year, Alabama's probably going to beat them 6, 7, 8 times. Okay? I mean, it is what it is. But, that being said, Alabama got upsetted in the regular season. TCU did not. That is why TCU's in there. It's just that simple. It's deserving. Okay? So for all the people who said Alabama should have been in there, or X team should have been in there, Y team should have been in there, remember that you said that, because once they start doing that, the regular season will have 0 meaning, and it will be awful. So just remember that you said that. Next. My next just thought general about the game. Georgia has crazy amounts more talent on the field. Like you said, embarrassing for Michigan. Embarrassing for Ohio State because they lost to Michigan. I mean, dude, just rough. Embarrassing to Georgia for having a close game with Ohio State. It's embarrassing all around. But Ohio State lost to Michigan. And Michigan lost to TCU.
That one's a big style match.
It is a little
That's
bit.
A style match.
No, it is. I'm picking. But you get what I'm getting to, like broadside. It's just, it is what it is. And, but besides that, man, just another blowout. You hate to see it. For all the people also saying, I want to get off because Twitter is making me upset. Also, for all the people that saying the 12-team playoff thing, can't wait for a 12-team playoff. Look at this, blah 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 blah. If this is the second team in the country, I can't wait to see 5 through 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever you want to say. Did you not watch the New Year's Six bowl games? They were all pretty dang good. They were all close games. Those are going to be the first and second round games, or the New Year's Six bowl games. Forget about the semifinals, even though the semifinals were great games too. The like Tennessee Clemson was the only New Year's Six bowl that was a blowout, and that one on paper was supposed to be the best. So it's just like, and even though that one was a blowout, the underdog still won by spread or whatever. So I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. Like, when 12-team playoff starts, yeah, there's going to be blowouts. Okay, there's going to be your occasional. We got blowouts now though, so I don't understand. Are you not wanting? You think more games are going to equal more blowouts? Maybe, but it's also going to equal more close games. So I don't know. I just don't get it. And for all the people who are saying Alabama should have been in, Tennessee should have been in, etc., etc. Well, 12-team playoff. Guess what? They are in. So it's funny. I just don't get it. They contradict themselves, but it's whatever. It is what it is.
Another thing too. I sent you this today is that Dylan Raiola guy who is with Ohio State. He's like the number 1 QB in the next class. If he goes to Georgia, it's a kind of a less reliable crystal ball. It was from a different, it was from Rivals or something. They're not as good as 24/7, but if that happens, you're looking at
don't get bad.
It's gonna be really hard to watch college football.
It will.
In the championship games. It's gonna be bad.
I agree.
But
yeah, that's enough about the just national championship game in general. Though, game sucked. It is what it is.
No, yeah. I thought it was gonna suck. I didn't think it sucked that bad.
Yeah,
really bad.
I liked flirt with the idea of TCU, pulling off the underdog. Matt Duggan having that dog in him. He had an awful game, by the way. If he had any chance of getting drafted in the third round or fourth round or something like that, they're gone. Maybe fifth. But
he didn't even play against Michigan throwing the ball either, really. He made a couple plays, but statistically, he wasn't that great.
Yeah.
At least completion percentage. And it's just he's not,
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. They're just a weird team. They're one of the weirdest college football playoff teams I've ever seen. They're just strange.
Yeah, they are. Josh said Dylan Raiola. Is that what you said? Yeah, that's the Dylan. What's his last? Yeah, he's the
Raiola or something like that.
He's a high school player right now, right? So he's a high school player. He's number 1 dude, good player going to college. He's being Cristobal to Georgia, so that's not good for the sport because Georgia's already really good. So regardless, let's move on. That'll be the last probably thing we talk about college football, at least game related, for a while. So not until dang September, so August, whatever. Sad. All right, let's move on. Brandon Cooks, wide receiver for the Texans, has came out and just said, I want to be traded, don't want to be a part of a rebuild, I want to be gone. Earlier this year, talked about him being traded to the Cowboys and a couple other teams. But, Jake, 1, do you think Brandon Cooks will be traded? But 2, if he is, where to?
100% he's getting traded. He will not be on the Texans.
I
think he would sit out. Plus, he should have been traded already. Mm-hmm. The fact that the Texans didn't trade him at the deadline is really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad for their organization. It makes them look bad. That's like an obvious move you make. You got to get him out of there when he's still because he could have got hurt or anything could have happened between now and then. But luckily he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think. But he will be traded to a contender for sure. I couldn't tell you. There's a lot of teams that need a good wide. He's good. I wouldn't say he's great, but he's very solid.
Yeah,
very solid wide receiver. I could see. I could see the Bills going for him because I think there's a chance they let Gabe Davis walk. Maybe I think he would be a great. He's better than Gabe Davis.
Yeah, 100%. I think.
So I think the Bills might go after him personally.
Okay. Yeah, I think I didn't even think about the Bills. The Bills never came to my brain. Them, definitely. Obviously, the Chiefs could still use wide receiver help. And what about even the Cowboys, the team that was originally supposed to trade for him originally? They could still use him as a 2 for sure. Because Brandon Cooks is a great 2, and they could still use him as a 2. And here's a sneaky team for you. I know they're rebuilding. Bears Jets.
He won't
maybe
go to that team. I don't know if he has a trade clause where he has to agree. I think he has to agree on the trade. Yeah. So no.
Depend on what Jets do at quarterback though. True. It's interesting there.
If they got Tom Brady or something.
Yeah, then he's gone. He's gone. Yeah. Yeah. So just something to throw out there, and I do. I do agree with you that Brandon Cooks should definitely be. He definitely will be traded. All right. Speaking of Houston, we're going to continue kind of with Houston, as they are now looking for a new coach, and so are the Cardinals are looking for a new coach. Jake, out of those two teams, give me your prediction on who you think their coach will be going into 2023.
Oh, gosh.
Cardinals.
Dang, Houston, I couldn't tell you a name, but I think Houston's going to go for a coordinator from the Eagles or the Lions offensive coordinator. They've been hot on the market because they both have great offenses, obviously. The Lions ones are really impressive to me.
Yeah.
Because they don't have as much as the Eagles do. But low-key, the Lions offense is like really good, though. They don't have the same kind of level of quarterback play as the Eagles do. Mm-hmm. I think one of those guys will be a hot ticket. I think the Cardinals, they're going to try for Sean Payton. They won't get him. I think they're also going to try for Dallas's defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who the Cardinals are going to get. I could see someone like Dan Quinn, but I think he would go. I don't know about Cardinals, I guess. They're kind of a weird one. Yeah. They got a quarterback, but their team's just kind of bad. And they said today they're looking to trade DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I saw that. So,
yeah. I couldn't tell you about them. Texans is a little easier, but I don't know about the Cardinals.
I think, I'm actually kind of the opposite. I think Cardinals have a fit. And I think it's in Jimmy Harbaugh. We talked about it. Yeah. We talked about it last podcast. Yeah, he wants to go to a team that's already established with their players who don't really need crazy amounts of help when it comes to talent. Cardinals fit him. He can get there. He make a couple good draft picks. They'll be fit. They'll be set. They'll be ready to go. Second thing, for Houston, like you said, one of the coordinators, Dan Quinn. I think you mentioned him for the Cardinals. I think he'd be a good fit at Houston. Especially a team that already is pretty good defense. Houston hasn't slept on defense. It's slept on. It's decent. That's definitely their strong point. So definitely get them there. And but yeah, those are my predictions for those two spots. I figured we'd talk about it, especially if Cardinals coach being fired. So Jay just said, may I ask who placed over Jake in you all's 2022 to 2023 fantasy football league? And then
that's funny.
Josh said, no questions, XC. Let's move on. No, we're not answering that question. So fantasy football's over now, Jaya. Listen, you had a good year. All right, this is how it happens, okay? Take advice from Triple C right here. Okay, you got to have a good year. Back of the brain. You got to move on. It's all about next year now.
I don't think she knows I won the backup league either. I won something. I beat you in the backup league. But
hey, Jay doesn't want to talk about fantasy basketball, though. It's true, isn't it?
No one wants to talk about fantasy basketball.
That's true. It's terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah,
it's completely terrible.
All right, let's move on to the real thing about this podcast, and that is the NFL playoffs. Jake, Cowboys are in there. That's your favorite team. Jaguars are in there. That's my favorite team. We're pumped. This weekend's going to be awesome. Can't wait. We got a bunch of great games, and we're going to predict them all for you and get them 100% right. Ain't that right, Jake?
Yeah.
No misses. Correct. All right, let's go to the Saturday games. NFC wildcard. Seahawks at Niners. Who do you got in that game?
I got Niners in a weirdly close game. I think the Seahawks are bad against their own division, and I think you'll see it again. And they've not been playing great anyways either, but I think Niners will pull it out in surprisingly low-scoring kind of fashion. I think Brock Purdy's going to have to adjust to the playoff. And this is a good little tune-up game if they can win it, because they're going to have to be playing some better competition, but I'll take the Niners.
Yeah, I also have the Niners. I got the Niners going pretty far in this, so I'm not going to repeat myself a lot as we get to more of the Niners, but that is the big question mark is Brock Purdy. How will he perform once you get in the playoffs? Playoffs are like a whole different season. Don't matter how good you are. Once you get to the playoffs, how are you going to perform there? Some people perform bad in regular season, and then they're good in the playoffs. Some people, it's the opposite. So, we'll see how Brock Purdy does in the playoffs. All right, let's move on. Saturday night, my game, Chargers at Jaguars. Jake, who you got?
This is like the highlighted game for me. I think I'll be happy with whoever wins. I like both the quarterbacks. I got to go Chargers. I think it might end up being the game of the wild card. Yeah, it'll be the game of the wild card round. I got to go Chargers, man. In Duval. It's a scary atmosphere.
It is.
Playoff game. First time in a long time.
I am going, knock on wood, with the Jacksonville Jaguars. No bias. No bias. I went into these predictions, no bias. If I wasn't a Jaguars fan, I'd still be picking the Jaguars. So I'm rolling with the Jags for that game. So when we get to our divisional round games, we'll have to make note that we picked different there. All right. Going into the Sunday games, Dolphins at Bills.
So this will be a blowout, I think. Bills blew up the Patriots last year in the wild card round, so I think they'll do it to the Dolphins, especially because Tua, if he plays, he's not 100%. And I think this team's on the downslide. Not been playing well.
Yeah, I also have the Bills. Not necessarily, I think, a blowout. I think this Dolphin team is better than last year's Patriots team. But if it's snowing or something like that, or the weather's off, then I think it could be bad. Now, remember, the Dolphins went up there earlier this year in the snow and actually made a game out of it, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So, they could be close there, for sure, especially if Tua is playing. But I got the Bills. I think Dolphins have a lot of issues going on right now. So, give me the Bills there. Let's move on. Giants at Vikings. Who you got there?
Upset of the weekend alert. Giants are going to win. I think the Vikings are the worst. I think they're 13-4 now.
Yeah.
They are by far the worst 13-4 team I've ever seen play.
Yeah,
they're a good team. But like, for their record, you would think they are like really, really good.
Yeah.
They're not. For some reason, they have so much talent on offense. I don't know really why they have much issues. They don't have good corners too. But I think Giants get it done. Brian Daboll, Coach of the Year, probably. It's a good debate. Really good debate this year for Coach of the Year.
It is.
But, he's one of them. I think he's the guy.
Okay. I am going to go with the Vikings in a crazy good game. I think it's going to be close. I think both teams are going to play well in this game. I think there's just so much talent on the Vikings. It'd be an absolute shame if they are not able to beat the Giants. With it being at Vikings too, and when was the last time the Vikings made the playoffs?
3 years ago.
Yeah, so it's getting time. I know the Giants haven't made it in a while though either. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah, but they're on the road. I think that home crowd's going to be pumped for the Vikings. So I'll take the Vikings. But I agree, this is another one I got circled definitely for this weekend. I think it's going to be a great game. Let's move on. Sunday night, Ravens at Bengals. Who you got? Does Lamar Jackson affect your answer here at all?
No, it doesn't really matter. I think he would help, but I think the Bengals will coast. It ain't going to be a blowout because it's in division, I think. But they're going to coast. They're one of those games. They win pretty easily, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
You got Bengals.
Okay, I am actually going to ride with the side of, even with Lamar Jackson and it being in division, I'm going blowout Bengals. This is the one I got circled for the blowout, actually. And here's why. I think that Joe Burrow and that team comes alive during the playoffs. And I think this Ravens team is just not very good at all. In general, even with Lamar, it's just he's a one-man army. And I'm not the biggest Lamar fan in general anyway, but it's just I just don't really see this one going the way the Ravens want it to. And what I mean by blowout, it's like 17, 20 points, an NFL blowout, not a 65-7 blowout. So let's move into the NFC. Moving into Monday. We got Cowboys at Bucks. What about them boys, Jake? Who you got?
Yeah, I don't know if I said it on the podcast. I might have. I know I've told other people. I will not pick the Dallas Cowboys to win a playoff game until they prove they can do it. Also, it does help that I actually do think they're going to lose, unbiased. I think Tom Brady is going to go 8-0 against Dallas in his career. He's already 7-0, I think. It's going to be 8, sadly. It's going to be really low scoring. I think the Bucks are not a good team. Dallas is floundering right now, sadly. It's depressing. But it's a coaching issue for Dallas. And then Tom Brady and them, he's always better in the playoffs. And they'll get it done by probably 3. I think it'll be a field goal game, but it'll be low scoring.
And this is the only road team I'm taking. I'm taking the boys in Dallas. I'm taking the Cowboys. I think this defense will be able to contain Tom Brady in that offense. I don't think the Bucs will be able to run the ball at all. There's going to be 0 run game. They're going to make it very one-dimensional. And I think your defense is going to absolutely eat. Bet you Tom Brady gets sacked a couple times in this game. I think they're going to absolutely eat. Now, offensive side of the ball. Dak throws a couple picks, maybe a fumble or something. You give them a short field. That's how the Bucs win this game because the Bucs have a great defense too. So they're going to have to be Cowboys are going to have to be alert. Keep it simple in the offense. Run the ball a lot. Control the clock. Be the dominant team. Be the more talented team because you are, and you can do that, and you'll be done with it. And I'm taking the Cowboys. I think they'll take the crowd out of it early. I think it's very important the Cowboys get off to a hot start in this game. And I think they need to win the first quarter and the fourth quarter. And I think if they do those two things, they're going to win. Yeah. So, and don't let it be a one possession with 4 minutes left. Don't make
one possession.
Might as well chop it up. They'll rig it, or Tom Brady will just go crazy. It'll be too obvious. Just don't. I don't want to see that. So, all right. let's move into our divisional rounds. So, okay, so you got your divisional rounds, right? You know yours.
Yeah, I know I have them here.
Okay, I know my divisional round matchups too. I'll start my first divisional round matchup. I'm just gonna go AFC first. I got Jaguars at Chiefs. I am going with the Chiefs. I think this game could be probably 10 points. It's something similar to the regular season. It is interesting to flirt with the idea of Doug Peterson versus Andy Reid, but man, with it being at Chiefs and they got Patrick Mahomes. Anytime you got Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, you have very good chance of winning. And the Jaguars' lack of talent on defense will show here, and just lack of talent in general. So yeah, give me the Chiefs.
Okay, my first one on the AFC side is Chiefs-Chargers instead of Jaguars. And I think this game is going to be really close because I think the Chargers always play the Chiefs well. They just always. Wow.
That's weird, isn't it? Ain't nobody over there. Let everyone know. Right now, watching, look. Ain't nobody over there. Just throwing that out there. Make sure everyone knows. Go ahead, Jake.
Chiefs-Chargers, yeah. I think it'll be close, but it seems like it's always close, and the Chargers just lose every time they play, kind of. So I got Chiefs, but in a great game. I think Herbert will show he's like the guy. Everyone knows. Everyone kind of knows, but some people doubt him for like no reason.
Yeah.
But you'll see the Chargers coaching staff is the reason they'll lose this game more than anything. I got Chiefs.
All right, my second AFC matchup is Bengals at Bills. So it's going to be a great game if this is how it works out. And I am rolling with the Bills. I think the Bills are going to get done. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Joe Burrow will play great in this game. I think both quarterbacks, it'll be high scoring. And but I think the Bills get it done here and they'll win and advance on to the AFC Championship. So let's move on to the NFC.
I'm not done mine yet.
That's right. You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got Bengals as well. And I think the only way the Bills lose this game is if they turn the freaking ball over. You cannot, because I know they will do it. You cannot against the Bengals. They are one of the best at taking advantage of it. They'll make you pay. I think the Bills are going to win, but I think it'll just be because they actually take care of the football. If they do not, they are doomed.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat the Bengals, turn the ball over like the Bills can. But I think they'll tighten up and they'll win.
All right. I don't know if you've even looked at the chat.
I can't see it.
Okay, it's on crack right now.
Well.
Okay, now let's move on to the NFC. Sorry for cutting you short. Let's go to the Cowboys my game is the Cowboys at Eagles. And I am going to roll with the Eagles. I think the talent on the trenches is too much for the Cowboys in this game. And it's at Eagles. I think if this game was in Dallas, I'd take Cowboys. At Eagles, I got to take Eagles. Both teams have won this year when they're facing the other team's backup quarterback. So I hope both starters are in this game, knock on wood. And if they are, it's going to be a great game. I cannot wait for that week of hypeness and heated exchanges on Twitter and things like that. But I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay. My next one is Eagles-Giants. I'm going to go Eagles. I think this game will teeter on blowout level, maybe. I don't know. If the Giants make this game close, I'd be kind of surprised. They'll say a lot about the character of that team, but I'll go Eagles.
Okay. My next NFC matchup is the Vikings at the Niners. I'm taking the Niners by a good margin here. I think they'll win pretty handily. The Vikings might make it interesting early, but I feel like this is going to be one of those games that is one possession. By the end of it, it's going to be like, 8-point, 7-point game, something like that. But it never felt like it was close. Maybe a late score by the Vikings make it one possession or something like that. I expect a boring game out of this one. One of the more boring games in the divisional round.
Okay, I have 49ers and Bucks. I'm going to go 49ers. I think they're just better everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe not quarterback, but Brock Purdy is playing better right now. But he has a way better team. But it won't be as bad as the regular season matchup, but it's going to be pretty bad. I think this will be Tom Brady's last game with the Bucks, and I think he'll show he's ready to leave. And I think the Niners will coast to pretty easy win here.
All right, so let's move on to our championship games. And even though we had different paths to get here, we both ended up with the same games. So Bills at Chiefs for the AFC Championship. Who do you got, Jake?
I got the Bills finally doing it. They're going to beat them at the Chiefs. It's going to happen this year.
Yep.
Bills my preseason pick to make it in the Super Bowl. I'm going to stay with it. I was considering not staying with it, but I am going to do it. And I think So it'll be another one of those games, just a classic game, and I think it'll come down to who has the ball last. I think the Bills got it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also have the Bills. Same reason. It's Tom. It's Tom. Okay, it's time. You've made the Super Bowl a bunch of times, and you've lost it. They've never won one, have they? They won Super
Bills
Bowl.
Have never. They've made like 4 in a row.
Oh man, it's time, Bills Nation.
It's time.
You're going to the bowl, but will you win it though? To be continued. All right, NFC Championship. Niners at Eagles. Same for both of us, I think. Right? Niners Eagles.
Mhm.
Okay, who you got in that game?
I got Niners. I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah, it's bad.
I got Niners. I think it'll be a pretty good game, but I think Niners will probably win by at least a touchdown or maybe 10 points. They're better everywhere too, pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe not at wide receiver, but better everywhere else. They're just better.
Yeah.
And better coach, better everything. And I think it'll be at Eagles though, so it'll be a tough environment. It'll be a really tough environment to go win, but I think they'll do it.
All right. I also have the Niners. I agree with you. I think the talent there too much. I think coaching will be a big thing of this too. Not to knock on the Eagles coach. I think he's fine. I think Kyle Shanahan's just that guy. And they are going to go to the Super Bowl. And my family's walking in here. All right. Okay. Go ahead with your Super Bowl pick, Jake.
I got Bills, Niners. I'm going to go. The Bills finally get one after all these years. I think Josh Allen he'll get his first ring of probably a couple, hopefully, for the Bills. But I think this is the first game. Well, this will be the game you truly see the quarterback difference with the Niners. I think Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy. I just got to go Josh Allen. So.
All right. My Super Bowl prediction: Bills and Niners as well. Bills waited so long, and they got like preseason prediction hype, and they've pretty much for the most part lived up to the hype. They're gonna make the Super Bowl this year. They've went 4 times, or they've made it 4 times and never won one, and surely they'll get it this time, and they won't. Give me the Niners.
Oh, wow.
Go Brock Purdy. It's in the script. I've read it. Brock Purdy. The old Mr. Irrelevant wins it. Imagine him holding up the trophy in a Niners jersey like that. He's going to win it. And the Bills' legacy of making the Super Bowl and losing will live on. They'll lose again. Choker, I think it'll be a great game, though. I will say this much, though. When in the divisional round, whoever the 49ers play, whether it's the Giants or the Vikings, if they win that game, then I have faith in Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl. If they lose that game, then they weren't going to make it anyway, is the way I look at it. Because I assume if they lose a game down the stretch, it will be because of Brock Purdy. You're throwing picks when you shouldn't have, or just trying to make a play when you shouldn't have. I would be very shocked if it's anyone else's fault whenever it comes down to that. Yeah. So, but I got Niners winning the Super Bowl. You got Bills winning the Super Bowl. We got the same people making it. So let's move on. Carlos Correa has finally signed, which he still is waiting a physical, so this could not be true as well. True. But it seems the vibe on this one feels a little bit more that he's probably going to stick. So he's going with the Twins after the Mets' big issue, after the big issue with the Giants. Jake, what is your thoughts and everything on this?
Interesting choice for Correa because I feel like he wants to win.
I'm listening.
Okay, and it's weird to go to the Twins because they're not going to win for a while. You're not listening at all.
I'm listening. Seriously, I am. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm going to stop talking. No.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I was just reading what they had to say. I was reading.
I guess my real point of all this is don't let Mets fans on Twitter tell you they get whatever they want. It's not true.
Yeah,
they can't pay whatever they want. I think it's going to actually stick with the Twins because they know his medical history because he's already been on the team. They probably know his leg's a little weird. And I think he'll stick with the Twins.
You might as well forget about this being a cut. It was going to be a video and everything. It would be a video no more. Yeah, I agree. It's funny how all that stuff worked out and that he finally gets to go right back where he started with the Twins. Hopefully, I hope the physical's too bad and they don't sign him either and he comes to Boston, especially now that Trevor Story is an embarrassment. So, yeah, that'd be very nice. But I agree. I think he is a Twin. Probably finally to stay. So let's move on to our college basketball rank predictions, and we got a whole bunch of games. Should be Clemson ranked plays versus Duke, but whatever. So let's move on. First game, number 4, Alabama, at number 15, Arkansas.
I'm going to go Alabama. I think I read Arkansas is dealing with some injury issues. I think Alabama's on fire right now. So
I'm going with the Razorbacks. Give me the home underdog. Give me the home dog. All right, number 6, UConn, at number 25, Marquette.
Go UConn.
Okay.
UConn's got it. Dude, I always pick the road teams. It's so funny.
I'm also going to ride with the road team in this one, though. I think UConn's legit. Number 6. Give me them. Number 17, TCU, at number 10, Texas.
This is just going to be TCU's bad week. I got Texas.
I agree. I agree. I also got the Longhorns. I feel bad for old TCU. But get a chance to make it up as number 11, Kansas State, goes to number 17, TCU.
I think Kansas State's going to beat them.
Jay!
I think TCU's going to lose again.
Man, Texas Christian University is going to be on suicide watch. That is rough.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Horned Frogs in that one. I think they finally end the week on something positive and realize not all of their sports are doomed. Let me flip over my page. All right. Number 14, Iowa State, at number 2, Kansas. What you got in that one?
Got Kansas.
All right, I'm also rocking with the Jayhawks there. Give me them, Kansas. Number 23, Marquette, at number 12, Xavier.
I like Xavier.
Okay, I am also rolling with Xavier. Dude, we're going to read all this right here. I'm also rocking with Xavier. All right, if you two in the chat, we got 4 viewers right now, so if anyone has any actual sports questions, ask them now. This is the part we'll take questions and answer them. If you have any serious sports questions, ask them now. We'll answer them. But Jake, what is your question of the week?
Question of the week. How long does it take you to make a clip? You're getting exposed right now. When you make a clip, how long does it take?
Like, what do you mean, from start to finish? Like, when I sit down and start making the clip? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
When I sit down and start making the clip, it takes me probably, from start to upload, 45 minutes. Wow.
No.
Well, the clip's already done. I just have to go take it off the BoogiePod. And then just do some editing. Was the editing bad or something, Jake?
No, I didn't even watch it, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'm just asking a question.
Okay, alright, I was just asking. Let's see if they got any actual real questions. What do y'all think of the new Puss in Boots movie?
Fire.
10 out of 10.
Very good. Very good movie.
Josh says, I'm just here to keep the chat alive. Okay, Jada actually might have a real question. Hold on.
Yeah.
Alright, well, a real question for Jada Standard. Who is the hottest football player? You can't say someone from the Jags or the Cowboys. Okay. Alright.
I don't know.
You want to answer first or want me to go? Hottest football player that can't be from the Jags or the Cowboys.
There's no one good looking on the Cowboys. But...
Probably Joe Burrow.
That's awesome. Probably
Joe Burrow. And then Jay said, bring Ghost in for predictions. We might do that next podcast. Bring Ghost.
We gotta do that thing where like you mix it behind your back and then put your knuckles out and see which one he packs.
Have you seen the dude on the little dog on TikTok where you throw it and he hits it to
the
one of the baskets?
Yeah.
It's
pretty accurate too.
We'll bring Ghost in for a podcast. Next one featuring Ghost. That's why it'll be
BoogiePod. A special guest.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring Ghost in for the next one.
Get a ghost cam and just put it on him while he sits there.
Watch him walk around the house in like the little corner. Okay. Alright. Yeah, definitely Joe Burrow probably. Josh said I got one who has the biggest dumpy in football. Alright.
Who has the biggest what?
The dumpy in football. Alright.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not answering that one. We're done. That's it. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Josh, Jada, we appreciate you guys keeping the chat alive. And clips coming out this week, 45-minute ones. Might even have to buff it because Jake said the editing is really bad. So
That's not true.